In this video, we're going to work on finding coterminal angles measured in radians. We've done this in a previous video. So the idea of a coterminal, remember that the terminal side of my angle will always land in the same spot. So this is like adding rotations or subtracting rotations. So like in those problems earlier, we wanted between 0 and 360. Now they want radians between 0 and 2 pi. That's one full revolution. So what we're going to do is we'll take 19 pi over 4, and if I want to find its coterminal angle, I need to do what we did in the past where I subtract out or add in full rotations. Well, this is much bigger than 2 pi, so I'm going to have to subtract full rotations. So I could do this, okay, minus 2 pi, and see where we're at. But I'm going to need a common denominator, so I'm just going to think about it that way to begin with. I need it to be a 4, and if I want 2 pi, it's got to be an 8 pi. Like, it's pretty easy just to do it that way. Well, if I do that, okay, I got 11 pi over 4. 11 over 4 is bigger than 2. That is still not correct. I need to go ahead and subtract another full revolution out, so that's 8 pi over 4, which is going to leave me with 3 pi over 4. So I know that this big 19 pi over 4 is the same thing as 3 pi over 4. This is going to be a very important skill to get down to. So you can do it all at once if you can find a workaround instead of just adding and subtracting. But this is the way that I go about it. The only time I would do it different is if this number was incredibly big or incredibly small negative, like 356 over 2 or something like that. Then I'm probably going to divide and then figure out how many whole rotations I can pull out. I'm not going to like minus 8 pi over 4, 8 pi over 4, 8 pi over 4 20 times. I'm going to figure out that it goes in 20 times, figure out what that is, subtract it away, and see what's left. I'll try to throw some examples into some of our work. Okay, so find an angle measure of theta that is coterminal with the angle of, sorry for that typo, of measure negative 17 pi over 6. So negative 17 pi over 6. This would, if I subtract full revolutions, it's just going to get more negative. I need it to be positive between 0 and 2 pi. So I'm going to add a full revolution, which is 2 pi, but that really doesn't help me out the way it's written. I need a common denominator. A common denominator is definitely 6. So it's got to be 12 pi over 6, because 12 pi over 6 is 2 pi. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, this is negative 5 over 6 pi. Still not where I need it. So I'm going to add another one, negative 5 over 6 pi. And I'm going to add a 12 pi over 6, common denominator already. That leaves me with 7 pi over 6. So 7 pi over the 6 is the same thing as negative 17 pi over 6.